This report was commissioned by the IoD in July earlier this year with a Maura, and we surveyed 197 of the IoD members, and we were really interested in getting a sense of what their perception about culture was in their businesses. I think what was really interesting is that, first of all, we're seeing that 59% of the respondents indicated that there's been a really big increased focus on culture in the last 5 years in their businesses. So there certainly is momentum behind culture. But I think what was really of concern was the fact that 59% of those respondents were effectively saying that culture wasn't something that had formal processes around in their business. So I think that level of informality creates a certain degree of concern. I think what the research is saying, that clearly there's a very strong signpost of the importance of culture within organisations, that values are really key. And that there is, for many companies now, they have basically clearly aligned culture with their mission and vision and values. So that's really been important. The report findings indicate that there's a strong degree of informality with regard to culture in organisations, and only really quite a small percentage of organisations are saying that they clearly have their values and their culture aligned within organisations. So I think that's really of concern, is the lack of formality. Whilst there's knowledge and awareness of where the responsibility lies within organisations, i.e. the board, for setting the culture of the organisations, there isn't, at the moment, there appears to be a lack of formality around where that responsibility actually is held to account. And it's interesting from the findings that instead of holding the board to account for setting the culture within the organisations, that there's a strong belief that in fact the CEO within the organisation as a leader is the person who actually is responsible for setting the culture. I think boards need to be very honest and look at themselves hard in the mirror, and I think they need to look at in terms of what are the people, who are the people around the table, what processes are there, what are the deficits, what are the pluses, what are the communication strategies that could do with being improved. And I think if you look at get a composite picture of what is going on around the table, that enables you then to move that forward. The culture perspective of the organisation can't be looked at completely internally. It needs to be aligned with the external environment, and to ensure that the long-term viability of the organisation is going to be enhanced by improved culture. Boards need to show leadership. They need to set the tone from the top. It's really, really important that boards take ownership of corporate culture, and that they monitor it and they communicate it throughout the organisation, and they ensure that the culture is being adhered to throughout.